Hey guys, and welcome back to another Eldritch Moon speculation video. Unlike many of the theory and speculation videos you're likely to see on this channel, this video won't focus so much on the upcoming lore of Eldritch Moon, rather it's about a type of card that could potentially come with Magic's latest set. This Return to Innistrad block is one of many firsts. We got our first ever Werewolf Planeswalker in Arlinn Kord, along with the first ever Werewolf Legendary. We've seen brand new mechanics in Meld and Emerge, and finally, we had a story that wasn't blatantly spoiled in the first weeks of card previews. But, in returning to this dark plane, we've also seen a great many changes to themes iconic to Innistrad. Werewolves have become corrupted and now flip using different means. Legendary spiders and boars run amok. And Eldrazi have tainted everything we once loved about this gothic playground. In this block amalgamation of old style mixed with new flavor, could we possibly see something truly groundbreaking? A play on an old formula, transformed just as Innistrad has. Could Eldritch Moon introduce to us the first ever Eldrazi Planeswalker? Now before you all burn me at the comment section stake here, let me explain myself. I'm not talking about Emrakul, the last Eldrazi Titan, gaining a Planeswalker spark. It would be like a floating plastic bag getting a Planeswalker card. Rather, I believe Emrakul's influence could corrupt a Planeswalker we already know from the lore, warping them just like she did with the werewolves, vampires, and even angels. Just think about it, the pressure of Emrakul's power is weighing heavy on Innistrad, only the strongest minds are able to resist her call. Even Jace Beleren, a gifted telepath and Planeswalker in his own right, struggles to keep the Titan from his thoughts. It's only through the help of Tamiyo, another skilled mind mage, that Jace is able to block out the Eldrazi's influence. As Jace leaves Innistrad to fetch the rest of the Gatewatch crew, the concern that they could fall victim to the Eldrazi's whims is ever present. He believes Tamiyo could possibly protect them, but her ability to shield so many at the same time hasn't been tested. What if the Gatewatch returns with Jace to deal with this final Titan, only to have one of their own fall into servitude? Wouldn't that be a welcome twist? But who would it be? Who could we possibly face as a common Eldrazi enemy? Well, Jace has already proven that he and Tamiyo can at least somewhat resist Emrakul's influence, so they're out. Gideon Jura is noted as being one of the strongest willed humans in the multiverse, using pure bravery and honor to succeed in even the most precarious positions. Out of all the Gatewatch lacking in telepathic abilities, Gideon would be my least likely choice to become an Eldrazi Planeswalker. That being said, I could still see it happening, not lore-wise mind you, but in his art. Couldn't you just imagine Gideon wielding a Suro made of Eldrazi tentacles attached to his very arm? I know I can. Anyway, with Gideon's will, it's highly unlikely. That leaves us with Chandra and Nissa. Both have their reasons, but I believe either one could potentially become this Eldrazi Planeswalker. Chandra Nalaar is a pyromancer whose temperament is only matched by her passion. She often runs headfirst into situations with reckless abandon, trading a strategic plan for the pure destructive force of her magic. She doesn't sound like the strongest willed person out there, but she does have a strong identity of self, meaning she could rebuke Emrakul's influence. Remember, the block following Eldritch Moon will be visiting Chandra's home plane, Kaladesh. Perhaps her transformation is the pivot we need to travel to this plane. What about Nissa? Why could this proud elf from Zendikar be the possible Eldrazi Planeswalker? Well, in her new origin story, when she was young and on the trail of the Eldrazi for the first time, her initial encounter was with the Titan Emrakul. The experience left Nissa scarred both emotionally and mentally. Perhaps seeing Emrakul again will trigger self-doubts the elf has since buried, leaving her open to the Eldrazi's influence. Now, we can also rule out others like Liliana Vess, whose Planeswalker card, The Last Hope, dropped just yesterday. But what about other candidates? Sorin Markov could possibly be a good fit for the Eldrazi. He's given up on Innistrad and seeks vengeance, perhaps opening his mind to the influence as well. Although, I'd envision a centuries-old Planeswalker like Sorin to have some sort of self-control when it comes to mind manipulation. Maybe Nahiri then. She did summon Emrakul after all. She knows what the Eldrazi Titan truly is, so it's unlikely she'll worship her, but she does face an army of vampires. Maybe she's willing to take the change just so she can end Sorin herself. The character, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. Story-wise, I don't think any Planeswalker who undergoes this change would be changed permanently. With Emrakul's defeat, they would most likely revert back to their normal selves. But what would an actual Eldrazi Planeswalker card look like? Well, that's where the new spice hits an old formula, the Eldrazi creature type on a flip Planeswalker. We've seen flip Planeswalkers for a while now, especially in Magic Origin, and as recent as Arlen Cord. They work! So why would it be so strange just to slap an Eldrazi creature type on the bottom end of one? The Planeswalker can start off as just their normal selves, fighting the Eldrazi with all the others, but if they dip down to a certain amount of loyalty counters, they flip into their new Eldrazi form, with, of course, all new abilities. It really wouldn't be hard or even that different to many other Planeswalker cards we've seen in the past. Anyway, those are the reasons why I think we could possibly see an Eldrazi Planeswalker in Eldritch Moon. That being said, we do already have 2 walkers in the set, so who knows if they can even jam a 3rd one in. I'd really like to see this unique take on cards we already know and love. Would you? Let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see an Eldrazi Planeswalker, and who would your choice be for the change? If you enjoyed the video, consider throwing it a like, and sub to the channel to stay up to date on the latest Eldritch Moon spoilers, news, and lore. You can also support the channel by visiting my Patreon page, and following me on social media. Find links to those in the description below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.